this text thread thing with the war plans for Yemen. I mean, it's amazing. The thread reportedly involved up to 18 top national security officials discussing sensitive, classified details of a planned military strike, raising questions about Trump's knowledge of the actions of his top officials and, as commander in chief of the military, his knowledge of U.S. national security and military operations. Trump's trying to play it off like he had no idea that any of this was even happening. Experts say that the discussions that took place on a commercial messaging app should never have been held over that app, but rather should have been held inside of SCIFs, multiple SCIFs, sensitive compartmented information facilities. On Monday afternoon, the story broke early this morning, and Trump is trying to act like nobody in his administration told him about it. He was like, I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of The Atlantic. It's, to me, it's a magazine that's going out of business. I think it's not much of a magazine, but I don't know anything about it. Attack the messenger. Act like you don't know what they're talking about, and attack the messenger. You're saying they had what? Having to do with what? What are they talking about? And the reporter gave him details. And Trump declared that the leak couldn't have been very effective because the attack was very effective, I can tell you that. And then said, I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it now for the first time. How many times have we heard him say that? It's an absolutely mind-boggling security breach. It's just mind-boggling. It's anybody else would be arrested. As the bombing campaign moved ahead, Secretary of Defense Hegseth's Signal account shared details that Jeffrey Goldberg of The Atlantic said he believed could put at risk the safety of U.S. troops or intelligence officials, especially those deployed in the Middle East. Those details, the Atlantic article says, allegedly included specific weapons to be used and in which sequence the Houthi targets would be hit. Over a commercially available texting app. Military and national security experts are stunned, not only that this massive leak occurred, but that the president was not informed, allegedly, until a reporter asked him about it on Monday. These attacks took place on Saturday. If the president is telling the truth and no one briefed him about this yet, that's another story in itself. In any other administration, the chief of staff would have been in the Oval within nanoseconds of learning something like this, wrote The Atlantic's Tom Nichols, referring to the White House chief of staff, Susie Wiles. Heads need to roll for this. They've broken laws and endangered lives of our service members with this idiocy. What's worse is that Trump has no idea, allegedly, about the story, which makes it even worse and more terrifying. Like, bro, why don't you know? Who's running things over there? Trump is saying that he didn't know about this shit on Monday that happened on Saturday with 18 senior members of his cabinet involving classified war plans. 48 hours later, Trump's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Hours after this article had been published online. And again, it's like I ask, does MAGA give a shit? Does MAGA give a shit that this is how Trump and his people are running the military? Amazing.